My family really likes to go on hikes, and we like to always try to go to different places. So this time we thought we would go someplace close to us. And little did we know that this place would be one of Marathon County's hidden gems. Hey everybody, welcome back to Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer Podcast. I am your host, Jason. And I hope whenever you're listening to this, I hope you're having a great day. And on this week's episode, we're going to talk about what is, in my opinion, Marathon County's hidden little gem. Now, like I said before, my family likes to hike. And as my kids get older, we like to try to go on longer hikes and hikes that challenge us a little bit more. And most of our hikes have taken place in the spring and the summer and the fall. And we have yet to try a winter hike. And a lot of that has to do with the age of our kids. My oldest had just turned 10 and my youngest is 5. So getting out in the wintertime really wasn't appealing to not only them, but to us as parents too, because, getting kids bundled up is kind of a chore. So we just kind of put off our hiking in the wintertime and saved them more for the warmer months when it was easier to get the kids ready. But now we feel like our kids are getting old enough that we wanted to try something new. We wanted to try our first winter hike. So we decided to go someplace really close, or relatively close to us, I should say. And we settled on the Dells of Eau Claire in Marathon County. And being that this winter has been just so odd this year. I mean, it's been in the 40s some days, and then it gets down to the 20s. And these warmer than normal temperatures had got us, kind of getting the itch to get out here a little bit. And for those of you not in central Wisconsin, we don't have any snow. The one storm that did go through kind of split us here. So we have been, you can see the grass where I live. I mean, we literally have no snow. So you kind of get them itches to get out, when you don't have any snow and the weather's in the upper 30s, lower 40s, you really want to get out. So we decided that the weekend before New Year's, it was a nice enough day that we'd go try kind of our first quote-unquote winter hike. Now granted, not a lot of snow, but still winter months where you got to bundle up. The weather was pretty good. There was no wind, which is important because if there was wind, there's no way that the kids are going to stay out there that long. So that was probably their biggest factor, was that it was, in the mid-30s, there was no wind. And we went kind of in the afternoon and we knew it wouldn't be a far drive. So kind of that perfect storm for us for packing the kids up and getting them out there. It was close to our home and it was cold, but not too cold. There was no wind and it was just kind of a perfect sunny day. So we decided to drive about 30 minutes west of Wausau and explore the Dells of the Eau Claire County Park. I've seen pictures of the Dells County Park. I've talked to others who have been there, and they've all told me what a great place it is. So we felt like it was our time to go out there and check it out and see kind of what all that buzz was about that I've been hearing about it. So we waited till about after lunch or so and decided to go. Now, packing up kids for a winter hike is a lot different than summer. In the summer it's pretty easy. They throw on a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, you throw on some sunscreen, grab a water bottle and some snacks, and you're pretty much good for a nice short hike. You're not going to hike all day, but you don't have to have a lot of things. Now, winter hiking is obviously, you guys out there that have done a lot of winter hiking, and so we found out pretty quickly that winter hiking takes a little bit more patience on the parents' part. And if you have kids, know that kids get restless quickly. So now my older kids, they can get ready on their own, but the younger one, takes a little more time. And if your house is like my house, this kid can't find this boot or that hat, and pretty soon this one's complaining because they're hot. So you tell them to go outside, and you tell them then they don't want to go by themselves, and let's just say that stress level gets up there a little bit higher, and it's almost more of a workout getting them ready for the hike than actually going on the hike. But I gotta tell you, my wife and I, we powered through it. We got everyone loaded in the truck, and we finally headed down the road. The trick here is for us to get the kids in the truck. Then my wife and I, we could take our time getting ready. So everybody's packed in. We got some water bottles. We got, a few little snacks that we're taking with us. And we knew it wasn't going to be a long hike. So we really didn't over prepare, make this big lunch or anything like that. So the drive from our house is about a 45-minute drive, and it's actually a pretty easy drive. You do have to go through Wausau a little bit, but it's pretty easy to get through Wausau. And you're going to get yourself on Highway 52 going east, and once you get out of Wausau, you're going to stay on Highway 52 for about 20 miles, but you'll turn south on Highway Y, and it takes you right to the park. I know there's other ways to get there, but this is the way we went, so, if you're interested in the Dells of Eau Claire, just look them up. Google is such a great thing now. Google Map it, and it'll take you right to there. So we get there, and the thing you're going to notice is in the wintertime, they close off a couple of the parking lots because they just don't want a lot of people to go in, because some of them you got to drive into the park a little bit more to get into, and it saves them a lot if they just close them off and not even open them. In fact, I think I counted 3 different parking lots. And the first one you come to is the one that's open. Luckily, the park isn't really busy during the wintertime because it wasn't a big parking lot. But there was still plenty of room for us to get there. And there were a few other cars there because there were people hiking. And I noticed there was some coming and going. So it is still an active place, even though it is wintertime. But you kind of park north of where the Dells and the water area are. So we got parked, got everybody out of the car, and we walked down to the Eau Claire River and the trail. And I'm going to tell you, we got down to the river, and we were just amazed at how beautiful everything was. And I'm going to say this time of year is actually kind of a nice time to go because you really get, you get the snow on the sides of the banks of the river and the ice formations where the water is splashed up and is frozen and stuff. And it's really beautiful. So the water flows from east to west over a variety of different rock formations. And it almost creates these little mini waterfalls throughout this part of the river. And the water flows underneath the bridge that crosses Highway Y. And it was cutting through small amounts of ice and snow, and it was really a beautiful place to be, and there wasn't a lot of people around. There was a few people down farther the river where you could see them walking on the ice that had formed, but where we were, there weren't a lot of people. And one of the really cool parts about this place is you can walk right down on the rock formations and get kind of closer to the water, and that allows you to get really close to those ice formations and really see the running water and see how that the snow has been cut away by some of the running water and how the ice is formed. But you got to be careful. Obviously, they could slip and fall in, so you really want to be careful. With kids, we were careful to make sure we kept an eye on them and didn't let them get too far. But there's signs up and warning you about the possible dangers of slipping on the rocks and falling in. But it's worth it. I'm telling you, take your time. Walk around on the rocks a little bit. Look at different places. I mean, I could have spent probably an hour just there alone taking pictures and taking video. And it was just a really cool experience to see how the ice was forming. How the ice would form when the water would splash up and how it would freeze and it would move the ice to move the water to a different area and it was just a really neat experience. And the funny thing is we haven't even hit the trails yet. This is just our first impression of it as we came to it. And my wife and I kept commenting about how we didn't even know this was really here and how this is kind of a big secret here in Marathon County where nobody really talks about this place a whole lot. Like I said, I had only seen it on a few pictures on Facebook pages and a few friends have been here, but you don't hear a lot of people talking about this. So we finished kind of walking around on the rocks and looking at the water, and my kids and stuff, were getting tired of me just standing around taking pictures and stuff. So we decided to get on the trail. Now, on the north side of the river, this is part of the Ice Age Trail. So what we did was we got on the trail and we walked east deeper into the park, where kind of the main parking lot of the whole place is. There's a beach and stuff down in there during the summertime where kids can, families can swim and you can have picnics and stuff. But so we decided to go into there and kind of go to the start of basically what would be the trailhead. And you come to the dam that's basically causing all this rushing water. So that's where we started. We started with the dam, and that was kind of neat. My kids to experience a dam up close like that, they were really impressed with it. And again, you start to see like that rush of water and what it can do, and you start seeing the ice formations around it and stuff. So that was really, really cool for them to see, really cool for us to see, and be able to walk across the dam. And the trail actually goes directly across the dam. So we crossed the dam onto what is called the South River Trail. And this is part of the loop system for the trail there. And we walked back, and this took us back to Highway Y. We crossed that again. And we decided to, instead of staying on this, go up the road a little bit and get back on the Ice Age Trail and walk that in. Because we kind of wanted to make that the loop that way. So we went back on the other side of the river, on the north side of the river, and hopped on the Ice Age Trail, and we walked back in on the trail there. And the trail takes you back to the Dells High Bridge. And the Dells High Bridge, this is exactly what it sounds like. It was a high bridge that crossed the Eau Claire River, and it continued the trail. And you could make a decision. You could continue on the Ice Age Trail, which takes you down to the 45th parallel, which we didn't do. It was getting kind of late, so we decided to cut back and take a kind of I don't know if it was a makeshift trail or not, but there was a trail that kind of followed the river back to where we started from, and we didn't really stay on the Salt River Trail, which would have kind of cut back into the woods a little bit more. But again, our time was getting short, and we wanted to stay close to the river, but I'm kind of glad we did that, because there was opportunities for us to kind of go down in the river where it was frozen enough that we could walk on it, and there was a few little island inlets that we could, or little islands that were close that we could hop on and take some pictures up there. So there was some advantages to us to stay along the river and not take the actual Salt River Trail back in. And we got back to where the Dells part is, where all the rock formations are. And when I say Dells, it does. It looks just like the Wisconsin Dells area in this part. And it's truly, truly an amazing part of Marathon County. I will say that this was our first time hiking in the wintertime. Again, if you want to call it wintertime, we didn't have any snow, but the temperatures were cold. But for us, we're counting it as our first winter hike, because we really wanted to get out this winter really bad. The trails were in really good shape. I was impressed with that. But if you're going to go, you got to wear some sort of ice cleat on your boots or something, because with the temperatures that we've been having, where you get the warm-ups and then you get the really cold nights, everything just kind of thaws enough that when it gets cold, there's ice everywhere. So there were a few really slick parts on the trails, which kind of made for some funny moments for us. But to be on the safe side, the next time I would go again, I would definitely wear some sort of ice cleat or something on my boots that would give me a little bit more grip, a little bit more security on some of those trails. Overall, the trails are pretty easy. My 5-year-old with snow pants and boots on, she managed pretty well. There were a few little things that she struggled with, but we took our time. There was nobody rushing us, so it was really actually a nice way to hike for us to do this. And I think for this being our first, winter hike as a family, I think it was definitely a great place to go, and I would highly, highly recommend it if you are driving through the central Wisconsin area to make a stop here. And it was just so hard for us to believe that something like this beautiful was just tucked in the middle of nowhere in Marathon County. And I want to say Marathon County does a really nice job of taking care of this park. Again, there wasn't a lot of parking right now, but you could definitely tell in the summertime that they open up a lot, and this place must be pretty busy during the summertime. And we're going to find out, because we are definitely going to try to get back there, maybe this spring again, and definitely in the fall. I think the fall would be like any place in Wisconsin. The fall is just going to be a great time to get out there and a great time to see all the colors of the leaves and stuff. But, I left the Dells of Eau Claire thinking that this could almost be a state park. I mean, that's the kind of impression it left on me. I was really surprised at what a nice park it was, and how, like I said, it's basically tucked in the middle of nowhere. You don't even really know about it. There's signs on Highway 52 that do tell you where it's back in there, but for those of us that live around here in central Wisconsin, you gotta get over there one day and just check this place out. You won't regret it. So next time you're trying to figure out where you're going to go for your next hike, I highly recommend making plans at Marathon County's hidden gem, the Dells of Eau Claire County Park. Before I go, you might want to check out my blog, because I'm going to have some nice pictures of the Dells of Eau Claire there. Also posted some on Facebook and some on Instagram. I took some videos, so I'll have that posted on my YouTube channel too. So again, check it out. The Dells of Eau Claire County Park in Marathon County. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for listening. This is Jason with Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to the Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. For more great information about being an outdoor explorer, visit our website at wisconsinsoutdoorexplorer.com. Be sure to check out the blog page and follow us on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.